afternoon, everyone. For those of you I haven't met, I'm Shauna Jackson, and I am the president of Nashville State Community College as of June 1st. And thank you. You know, what a beautiful day to celebrate a new beginning. And I want to thank all of you for joining us today, and certainly Mayor Briley for being a special guest and taking time out of his busy schedule to come celebrate with us. I do want to recognize elected officials. I know that Councilmember Pridemore is here, and so that I don't start calling out names and miss someone, if you are an elected official, if you would just raise your hand so we can recognize you. There's Councilmember Pridemore over there. Okay. I know that Representative Beck, who has been a very strong supporter of this campus, wanted to be here, but he was out of town, so he was unable to be with us. There's other people I want to recognize just real quickly. I believe Regent and our Foundation Chair, Joey Hatch, is here. Foundation Board Member Jamal Hips is right next to him. You wave your hand. And Randy Rayburn is in the back, also a Foundation member. Then I also want to recognize my partner, the president of TCAT Nashville, Mark Lentz, for being here with us today. And I have not met this person, but there was a principal from one of our elementary schools that was planning to come. You made it. Okay, I hope we get to talk later. TCATs and Metro Public Schools are going to be a very important partner as we build this campus together. So I appreciate you coming today. Of course, there's many others I could thank, and I would go on and on and on, so I won't do that. But there's so many that support it, and then those that contributed directly to the project. So I want to thank, and several of them are here, Gilbert McLaughlin and Casilla Architects. If you all would raise your hands, they're over there. And then also Hoare Construction. There's several floating around. Cindy's in the back. And then I have to thank Nathan Massey, where is he? There he is, for his unwavering support and the time he's committed. And then certainly the Nashville State and TBR staff that have contributed to this project that has been a few years in the making. When we realigned and made sure that Nashville State had all of Davidson County. So that's why we're able to build this campus. And certainly the Madison, Rivergate, and Goodlettsville Chamber. I think I saw one or two, there's one right over there. They have been so very helpful in the work that we are doing. So why are we here? We are here today to mark the demolition of the final building that will be the future home of Nashville State Community College. This project is directly tied to the Tennessee Board of Regents' very important mission of student success and workforce development. Now, our focus for this campus will go beyond just access to education, and that's important. But what we want to do is make sure that we have the programs that are directly aligned to the workforce needs, and that we have the essential support for students so they can complete their programs right here on this campus. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I may be new to Nashville State, but I am certainly not new to the Madison-Goodlettsville area. The very first community college that I worked for, I actually had oversight for Hunters Lane High School classes and the Madison Church of Christ classes, and that was in the early 2000s, for those of you that live here. So I know how very long we have needed to have a college right here in this community. And I also know that this campus is critical to supporting the existing and emerging economic development opportunities that don't just impact employment, but the quality of life in this area. Thanks to Governor Haslam's commitment to higher education, we have the Tennessee Promise, we have the Tennessee Reconnect programs, so there's more support than ever to offset the actual cost to attend college. But I think all of us understand that there are additional barriers that exist for people to come and complete, like transportation, childcare, and just other financial barriers. So we are going to put our stake in the ground right here, right over there, to address the accessibility issue. And then we plan to work collaboratively with existing internal services to provide a more holistic support to the students in this area so that they can complete their education. This community deserves more direct access to quality, affordable post-secondary education. And that includes our TCAP partners and increased dual enrollment opportunities for high schools and other partnerships with our K through 12 system. And that is why Nashville State, your college is committed to do what we're going to do here. This is a significant day. At Nashville State, we have launched what I'm calling our Moving Forward agenda, and that's basically guiding my first year of my presidency. And it's all about listening, learning, assessing, and addressing where we are as a college right now so that we can determine our future and develop a strategic plan with very clear priorities. That model is what we're going to use as we develop this campus. Through the leadership and support of both the Madison Rivergate and Goodlettsville chambers, we have already held several focus groups with area employers. My staff is working to analyze the data, the workforce data, to consider things like the redevelopment plans for the Madison Square, so that we can inform and have an informed decision about the types of programs and services that we need to offer. We need that time to do some good work. We are also seeking ways to engage the broader community, and we have several community members here, so that we can have a better understanding of what the community would like to see in Nashville State. So if you're interested in being a part, Ms. Ginger Hauser, who's on the front, is our point person for the project. And I also want to tell you we have a small visioning board in there where we would like for you to take some time and write what you would like to see in this campus. Because once we know what is needed, then we can really begin to work with our design team and lay out the plans for what the new campus is actually going to look like. And once the design phase starts, then we'll start sharing with you the actual timeline for construction and the date for which the campus will open. Now, we would not be here today if it was not for the support of the city of Nashville. This is currently a $15 million project, which, as we know, as construction costs rise, that is going to impact and maybe limit the design and program offerings for the campus. Knowing that, it really leaves very little to contribute to movable equipment and technology needs. The Metro Council and then Mayor Carl Dean, they stepped up and they contributed $1 million specifically designated to equip our labs and classrooms. And that gift was intended to provide students with an innovative and relevant instructional experience. We are so very thankful for what I believe Metro understood would be an investment to ensure that Nashville remains a vibrant and thriving economy where all citizens have an opportunity for social mobility. So if you would, let's thank our council members and our mayor for that $1 million gift that was given a few years ago. It was critically important to moving this project forward. So now I have the honor of introducing our current mayor, David Briley. As many of you know, he is a Nashville native who has served 2 terms on the Metro Council, including vice mayor. He is a supporter of education and equity, which is why this location is so very important. So we are thrilled to have him here to join the celebration, and I really look forward to working with you in your office while we build this campus. Mayor Briley.
Thank you, President Jackson, for the kind introduction and for your leadership here at Nashville State Community College. We met, I don't know, a few weeks ago for the first time, and I can say, in my opinion, we are closely aligned in terms of what the role of Nashville State needs to be in Nashville and how Nashville needs to interact with your college, and we are committed to doing that going forward. I do have to say that without the leadership of Councilman Bill Pridemore in the Madison community, this place certainly wouldn't be where it is right now. And so, Bill, just on behalf of the citizens of all of Nashville, I want to thank you for your leadership here in the city, and and say that I look forward to working with you as long as the voters give us a chance to stick together. So thank you very much. I don't want to go any further without echoing what was said about Mayor Carl Dean. He and I share a sense, I think, that while the buildings are great and it's important for us to continue to grow economically, that the most important thing in this town is the people who live here. And so Mayor Dean, along with the Metro Council and Councilman Pridemore, found a way to invest $1 million in this endeavor, because I think he knows that as we move ahead, we got to make sure that everybody has a chance to benefit from the growing economy. So I know his wife, Ann Davis, my friend, is here today. I know Carl, I imagine, is somewhere else in the state working on a future endeavor. And if you'll be kind enough to send the city's thanks to him for his efforts in this regard, I would greatly appreciate it, Ann. Thank you. Now, there's only one person here who I ever voted with, and that's Ginger Hauser. We served on the council together, and she now acts as the chair of the city's industrial development board, and I want to thank her for that and for her role at Nashville State as the vice president of economic and community development there. President Mark Lentz of the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Nashville, thank you for being here today. And I see at least 2 school board members here who've joined us today, so thank you very much for coming to join us today. One of the most critical things we can do here in Nashville is to make sure that what we're doing in our Metro Nashville Public Schools, K through 12, is followed through as our young people go on to that post-secondary world. Unfortunately, right now, we're not helping enough of them as they finish up in May and getting into that August and September world of following through. So we started talking about that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm committed in Nashville to making sure that we raise the percentage of our Metro Nashville Public School students who have free access to community college, to making sure that they finish that within 3 years. The percentage right now is very low, and it's not something that any one part of the system can fix, but we're going to work together to make sure that over the coming years we move that percentage up and up every year. Because even though wages in Nashville were up an incredible 6% year over year recently, not everybody is getting a fair shake at those increasing wages in Nashville, so we got to work harder on that. And creating a modern workforce in Nashville is a critical part of making that opportunity available to everybody who lives in our town. Those kind of partnerships are going to include partnerships like this, which includes the state, local government, Nashville State Community College, and Metro Nashville Public Schools, as well as the community here as well. Tomorrow's jobs, we all know, are they're going to be manufacturing jobs for sure, but the real opportunity and growth is going to be in knowledge-based jobs. That's why this location is so important, because we're focusing on providing the technological opportunities that are necessary for our students in the future. Over the years, this facility will have great impact on the opportunities for people who live in this town to earn more, to provide for themselves, to lift their families up over time. So we're totally committed to doing that. President Jackson and the Nashville Chamber and I met to talk about the Lumina Talent Hub recently, which is going to play an important part in that as we try and especially focus on the promise zones here in Nashville, where there is the most opportunity for us to make an impact. Now, before I finish, there's one thing I do have to say. I did notice at the beginning that the person who got the most applause was Randy Rayburn. I'm convinced that that is because he has fed more people in town than probably anyone else, and that we do think with our stomachs generally. So I do want to thank Randy for his commitment to this endeavor as well. I want to thank the community here in Madison because as much as any part in our town, this community offers us an opportunity to build, to grow, to have more families that are succeeding, and I'm committed to making sure that happens over the coming years. And I look forward to working with President Jackson in that regard for many years to come as we lift up this community overall. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Briley. And yes, school board members, thank you for being here. Very, very important. And there are several faculty and staff from Nashville State here. If you aren't aware, we start school on Monday. So this was probably a time that a lot of people simply couldn't get away because they are certainly helping students. So I know the sacrifice those of you that are here made, and I thank you for that. So now it's time to tear down a building. I'm going to get in that machine, I believe, and no, not the big one. I like the big one. Can I get in the big one? And at least get a ceremonial picture, and then they will start to demolish the final building. So you are welcome to stay out there for that, but we do invite you inside for refreshments, and don't forget the visioning board. So thank all of you for being here, and I'm looking forward to get a chance to interact with all of you. Thank you.